everybody, it's Kelly, and I'm coming to you from my scrap room with something a little bit different. A couple of months ago, when I was talking about a layout where I'd been to a crop, one of my subscribers asked if I could film how I packed for a crop. And I said that I would definitely do it. It would be a little bit though, but now is the time. I am going to a 4-day crop this weekend. And you might see this after the weekend, but I'm going to a 4-day crop this weekend and I've packed. So I'm going to just kind of tour you through the bags that are set to go, and I will take you through individually how I'm packing each of these. I'm going to kind of apologize for the lighting here, but it is night and this is what happens at night. So there, and then here. And I don't think, oh, and I can't forget my bag. I'm going to just whip you back here. I'm going to see if I can get most of these in. So those are all the bags on that side of the room. And then I have these few over here. Now, you're going to say, oh my gosh, Kelly, that's an incredible amount of stuff. And you are right. But one of the things is I'm not limited all that much by what I can take, because I have a fairly large table that I can crop on, and then I have another one of the same size behind me. So that makes that process really easy. And the other thing is I don't make kits up to go to crops. For one thing, there's no need, and I find scrapping out of kits to be a little bit hard for me to do that. It just feels really limiting to me. And I'm always looking for, oh, this layout would be perfect if I just had that thing, versus figuring out how to work with the kits. So I take everything. My main project this time will be to get as much of my nephew's wedding album done as I can. However, after scrapping 10 or 15 of those layouts, I need a break. And so I will scrap other things. And that's why you're seeing another large part of my stash go. So just in case you didn't notice, most of what I carry is 31 bags. They're incredibly sturdy. When I was at a party once, we put a 40-pound child in them, and that's important because of my paper keepers here, how I keep my paper. So that's a big deal. That they can take that weight. They also are big, and that's really what I use my 31 bags for most of the time, is that kind of a thing. So without further ado, let's talk about how I pack. So normally my paper is stored in my IKEA shelves. I'm going to just go here because this is where it's normally stored, and you can see right here. And then this cubby is somewhat I've taken. So I've taken about a shelf and a half of my paper here. And then what I do is normally I just keep it in the hopper paper keepers. Let me just grab one so you can see it. This is how I normally store it, just in one of these plastic paper keepers, and I store them by vendor. But when I go to a crop, those don't work so well. I used to store mine in these hopper file keepers here, these things. I don't do that anymore. It takes up actually more room than if I just store them the way they are. But this is what I use when I go to a crop. So I have, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these keepers. Oh, 6. There's one over here too. So I have 6 of these. And that's what all my paper is in. Now, in this little thing here, oh, I'm sorry, there's more than that. I think there's 8. 1, oh, well, of paper there's not 8. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7, 8 total of these holders though. So in this 31 bag, I have the start of my papers, and I have them all in here alphabetically by vendor. And then I also have a little bit of paper in this one, but mostly these are the 12 by 12 chipboard sheets, and then also my 12 by 12 sticker sheets. So that's what's in this one. So those are all stored there. It makes it easy to get to. And then in like this one, I have some more miscellaneous. It's not vendor stuff, but it's more like my glitter paper is in here. And in here also are the paper pads for my nephew's wedding album. That kind of stuff is in here. And then I think also, yeah, this is where like my cardstock for their wedding album is. So this one right here is basically for the wedding album. So what I'm down to, I have 6 paper keepers of my normal paper here. It's a lot of paper, but that's okay. I like paper. Then this is cool because now, if it's not in those paper keepers, it's basically in, I pack it in my normal way I store things. And so here are my cigar boxes. If you've seen my scrapbook room tour, and I have a video for this, I keep quite a few different things in my cigar boxes. And since I'm doing this one-handed, sorry, I need to open this. And I may not be able to get it open very easily one-handed. Sorry about that, you guys. I'm a massage therapist, which you've heard before, and today was nail cutting day, so it's really hard to open things. Let me see if I can get another one open. But in my cigar boxes, here we go. I've got washi. So I have 3 of these cigar boxes with washi in, sorted by color. It's really 2, and then I have kind of one that has some washi in. I also store my baker's twine in one with, there's lots of room in it, but that's in there too. So that's how this stuff is stored. And I just put these on the, depending on how I'm feeling about what I'm taking with me, sometimes I put those on the table I'm working on, sometimes I put them on the table behind. Also, so that's what's stored in this bag. In this bag, there's 2 of the file holders. And you can see there's a good view of one of the file holders. That one there. So this file holder. 2 of the file holders. And then there's this cardboard box. This cardboard box really contains the photographs for my nephew's wedding album and the ephemera. So that's why that's there. Then I have, again, some more cigar boxes. And in this one, I have my Hero Arts inks. So they're the colored inks, the shadow inks, basically. And then if it's something that I use more often, and I think I'm missing some of these, but I just put my ink pad for my ink tool right on top of it, and that's how they get stored. This is really handy because this just goes to the crop, and I have a multitude of colors of inks if I need them. All right. And I just tilted that, so that's not good. So I'll apologize for that. All right, so next I'm going to go back to this, the next 31 bag. And again, there's 3 paper keepers in here. And then I have another little 31 bag here. This is a little, just a tiny little bag. There's a little pocket here that I keep some miscellaneous stuff that I want to use. And then this is basically how I store my enamel dots. So that's what's in this bag. And this sits, you know, right in front of me because that's really easy for me to use that way. And then here is my tool caddy. And this sits on my desk normally. I'll put that up there. It's just a flower vase. So if you've seen my scrap room tour, and again, there's a playlist for that scrap room tour, this is just my most used tools right here. And you can see all those things right there. So that's really cool because that functions just the way it functions when I'm at home. The next bag here has a bunch of miscellaneous things in it. So in here is an iris case. I'm just going to grab that. That's my iris case. That holds the embellishments for my nephew's wedding album. There is one of the inserts so that the smaller pieces are in there as well. You can kind of see the insert sitting right there. Then I have a paper keeper. And in this paper keeper are my cardstocks. Half of my cardstocks. I brought a lot of black and white this time because of the wedding album. There's another one right here. That's my colored cardstocks. And this makes it really easy for me to just, if I need cardstock, I just pull some out of my file trays, which, let me take you up there. There's my file trays of my cardstock and faux solid papers. So I just pull some in each color out and then put them there. I don't use cardstocks all that much, but I do sometimes use them, so I need them. So that's that. And then we have two albums. One is the wedding album that I'm currently putting layouts into, and let's see. So that's this. It's a Project Life album, and there are, you can see there are some layouts in there. And all I do is I just pop I take a photo of each of the layouts as I complete them, and then I just put those into the corresponding album. So there's pages in there ready to go. Then I have this album. I have an empty album right here, and that's it's an 3-ring American Crafts binder, and I just use brown ones for my yearly stuff. So that goes in there. They hold 40 pages normally. When I grow to a crop, I do about 50 pages. So it's between these two albums, I'll have room for all the pages that I'm doing. And then what I do is I just put them in the page protectors. It's kind of a pain because when I come home, of course, I have to take them out and then organize them and get them into the proper album. But really, it's worth it because it's really easy to store them like this. And then here is a box of my Recollections 12 by 12 album refill page protectors. So that's what's in there. Then down here, I have a couple of different things, and this bag wants to fall over. So this is my little stand for my iPad. So I do that. So if I'm like listening to music or watching something, I've got that stand there. I also have some of my sequins, and they're stored in these little containers that you can buy at Walmart. And then the other thing I have, and notice, I'm not packing anything specially into special containers. It's all just going into the bags the way that I pulled it right out of my scrap room. It still takes me a while to pack because I have to figure out what paper I'm taking, but at least this makes it easier. And then the last thing I have here is a spare roll of this trim that I want to use in the wedding album, and I didn't have any other place to put it, so I just did that. And this is how I store, this little bin is how I store my 3x4 journaling cards and my 4x6 journaling cards, just like this. So that bin just goes into this bag as well, and I'll just put that on my table because I use those all the time, and they will be ready to go. So that's how I do this. So in all this stuff goes, and I'm ready to go. This one, if it had more in it, wouldn't be falling over like this, but you know, c'est la vie. That's as it is. Okay, this next one is going to be a little bit hard to show you, but I'm going to try to do my best. So this sits on my desk, and in that I keep my mini letter stickers, my Elle's Studio letters, my Jelly Bean Soup letters. I keep some of my sticker sheets and labels and that kind of stuff. So that is in that, plus then other things. So I have like some Maggie Holmes embellishments. This is all embellishment stuff. I have my Elle's Studio embellishments. I have you know, Dear Lizzie. I have sticker books. I have some of my Heidi Swap things. And then I do have another one here of, there's some Bella Boulevard stickers here. There's some of the Elle's Studio cut-aparts here. And then there are some more 3x4 cards here. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. See, there's 3x4 cards right here. And those are things that don't go in that other bin because those are Elle's Studio. And that all sits in this wicker basket. It's divided into 3 sections. Again, you can see this better in my scrap room tour, but it's divided in these 3 sections here. And all that does is it just goes right into that bag, sits in that. I just pull it out. Okay, so those are the large 31 bags. Then I have this medium-sized one, and in here is my trimmer. This is an old, and I'll pull this so you can see this. This is an old Heidi Swap case that some stencils came in. And I still have the stencils, but in this particular case, I wanted to organize these things a little bit better. I have these Bella Boulevard bows. I have some new wood veneers that I just bought, and look at this. Wine bottles and wine glasses. I know you're all jealous now because I actually have wine bottle and glasses wood veneers. I've been looking for those forever. Some stick pins are in here and some different stick pins. So some different kinds of embellishments that just sit in this case, and it'll make my life very easy to just pull those all out. So that is one thing that is not stored the way it normally is. I'm just going through kind of transitioning some of those things. And then here's a couple of Heidi Swap Project Life kits. I have 2 of them. Some of these look really good with the wedding album, so that's why I'm bringing those. And then here is my stamp basket, and I don't know that I can get this out for you. Again, I'm going to refer you to my scrap room tour, but I have this sort of, you can sort of see the edges here. It's an oval shaped basket, and I just put my stamps. These are all the stamps I own a few of the dollars, some dollar stamps, and those are in a binder, but these are my other stamps. I just throw them in here. There's a stamp block right here. I have a couple date stamps that are in here, and then these are a couple of the spare inking pads there. So that's what goes in there. So that's really simple to just pick up. It sits behind me when I want to use a stamp. I'm ready for it. So that's in another bag. Then next to it are my wicker baskets right here that I store my thickers in. These just sit like this normally right on top of one of my file cabinets. So this is most of the thickers, and then there's a couple more in here. And I'll see if I can, it's hard to crawl around the floor. Let's see, hold on, sorry guys. Let me just take this off the top so you can see. Okay, so there's those, and then I have an overflow of a few things that I have extras of, but mostly I have beanboard alphas sitting on top they're just in baggies with their letters behind. These I just got over the weekend. And then these are some of the other colors. These actually, instead of sitting on the top with the top open like this, are just in here this way. So these are colors that I don't use quite as often. That's why these are in here like this, okay? So those, again, are really basically stored the way I always store them. And I just put these on the, right behind me on that table, and we're ready to go. And then here's my thickers stored right here by color. So, or pick alphas, because there's other alphas in here. Mostly thickers though. All right. So then next, and I'm going to bring you over here, is this pile of goodies. And this is a just a basket I bought at World Market. Those other 2 baskets with the thickers I bought at Michael's, just so you know, and I took the top off one. That's how they're standing. Those came from Michael's. This came from World Market. And this holds some chipboard sheets, smaller chipboard sheets, but it holds my doilies. That's the big thing that's in here. I also now have, because I've been buying a lot of Elle's Studio, I have a lot of the bags, and then this is where my acrylics and my my little acrylic words are stored. This doesn't normally sit in here like this. Normally it's in one of those white baskets, but I didn't want to take another one. And the stuff that was in here is stuff I don't use as much, so I just emptied it and put it in there. So that's how that is stored. And that's like a mail sorter. Then this is my basket of die cuts, you can see. And these came from Crate and Barrel. So, but you can find stuff like this now. So that's just a lidded basket. They're basically just in these Crupper Hopper photo envelopes. These are the ones that you store the photos in, and then there are bigger ones, and you normally would store these smaller envelopes in those bigger ones. But this is what I use when I have a much bigger collection of dies. And right now this is a little organized, partially because I just got a couple new collections in and I haven't filed them, but that's okay because this is just going to all go to the crop with me anyway, so no big deal. All right, then I'm going to pull back here a little bit so you can see this. This is a little caddy, a little tool caddy that I bought at Hobby Lobby. I'm going to pull back a little bit further. Now you can fully see it. Bought it at Hobby Lobby. They do make matching crop bags to this, but I already had a crop bag, so I didn't buy it. But I really like this, and I don't really use it. I do use it for tools. I shouldn't say that. I do use it for tools, and what is in here are my punches. So these are mostly my regular punches with some of my little smaller ones, my quarter rounders in here. These are right here are my border punches, and then I have a scallop circle and label punch. Most of my punches that I'm taking for the weekend fit in here. Then also in here, you can see right here is these are my 3 different sizes of glue dots. I have a refill for my ATG and then some foam circles here. Then in the front of this, because I'm afraid of running out of adhesive, I have 2 more refills. So that gives me 6. They're completely, none of them have been used. 6 refills of the adhesive. And I normally, like I said, do 50 some layouts. I've never run out of adhesive if I take that many. So that's what's in there. Then next is another 131 bag, and I think this is called like the organizing bag or something if I remember correctly. It's great for like taking to the beach and that kind of stuff, but what this one gets used for mostly is when I go to my scrapbook weekend. So in this bag is a couple of things. My waxed paper is right here. Then I have an envelope of bling, and what this is, let me pull back so you can see it. It is a Cropper Hopper sticker holder, and then it just opens like this. There's files there, and my bling is in by color. So I'll just put this down here. Then underneath that are my little hardware boxes of goodies. So smaller embellishments. So I have buttons, I have flare in this one, and then my wood veneers are down here, and there's another case of my bigger wood veneers right below that. So that's how these get held, and they really do, it's really easy to get these all just stacked and stored in here. Put my bling envelope, you zip it up, which I'm not going to be able to do because I don't think that works very well one-handed. But sorry about that, guys. This is what, it's hard to do these one-handed. So that's that. And then last but not least is my crop bag. So that's what this is here. This is a We Are Memory Keepers crop bag. I absolutely love it. It has the 360 wheels. I used to have another one, and a friend of mine was helping me when I took it on a girls' weekend that wasn't a scrapbooking weekend, and she pulled on it, didn't realize it wasn't 360, and broke it. So I'm going to show you the sides first so you can see this. And I don't really this time have much in these sides. A lot of times what I throw in here is my photographs, and I'll throw some smaller embellishments. A lot of times my inks and that kind of stuff will go in here. I've changed how that happens this time because I'm storing my photographs a little bit different because I have a lot, and there's 2 of those sides. So this is, let me pull back, there's a front compartment to this Cropper Hopper bag, and there it is. So you've got all of these pockets here, and then you have all of these pockets here, and these pockets are Velcro, and as you can see, they're pretty sturdy. So I'm just going to do this so you can see more what's in it. In this particular pocket, I have my Memento Dewdrop inks, and I have gold and platinum or silver coming with me, and then my handle for my Tim Holtz tool is there. also are my most used inks. So there's my vintage photo, and I've got my Jenny Bolin in brown and black here. This one actually is empty. This one just has some spare little bags in it, just in case I need to store anything that I'm worried about. And then this one right here has my Scotch Quick Dry. It has a Heidi Swapp in gold. It's the only mist I'm taking this time, and my Undo. Now, normally when I go, I take a couple more mists, and I also take some of my painting supplies. Like I might take my watercolors and that kind of thing. So I would have more in this bigger one. I would have brushes and that kind of stuff. But because I'm really putting a lot of focus on my nephew's album this time and I'm not doing any of that, I decided to actually not take something and leave that stuff at home because I don't think I'm really going to use it. And it's not going to do me any good having it there if I'm not using it. I'm just going to be hauling it for nothing. So I was prudent about something, even if you think this is a horrific amount of stuff to haul. But like I said, you know, I have a car full. I'll have to remember to try to take a picture. Okay, so then in these pockets are a couple of different things. In this top pocket here are my pens. So my new pens, they're all my journaling pens are there. And then I've just realized this, I have to find my Rink of Stella marker. I think it's in my other thing. And then I bought some new sequins. I was at Scrapbook Expo. So I've been eyeing this pink and the blue sequin mix and a couple of other ones. I will have sequins for the rest of my lives. These were $2, and in the shop near me it's like $5, and that's $2 US. And here's 2 more of those, and now I have green, and then there's a multicolor one with colors that weren't in the other one. I'm almost out of yellow, so I have a yellow in here, and there's a gray. So that's that. This one down here is empty. And then this one up here contains 2 things. One is that envelope of my hearts and foil and stuff that I use in the wedding albums and just as accents. And then the other thing is my spare, sorry, I'm having a hard time getting that back in, my spare blade for my trimmer. Now, if you've watched videos recently, you might know that I just bought a Caterpillar Pro trimmer, but I'm not taking that with me this time. First of all, it's pretty big and bulky, takes up a lot of real estate. I probably will travel with it eventually, but right now this is still working fine. I don't think you can get these refills anymore. So once I'm done with this, I think that trimmer is done. But my Caterpillar Pro, you can't gut paper with. So I have I was going to say an X-Acto blade, a cutting blade that I'll use for that. But right now I just decided to take this year to take my my old American Crafts Cut It Up. And I will tell you, I might regret that because it's not cutting as straight as it used to, and now I'm used to those beautiful precision cuts, so I might not be happy with myself, but oh well, things happen, right? All right, so that's what's in here, and maybe I'll just put this down here because then it's 2 separate things. Okay, so I have to use my knee to help me zip this back up because I do need to zip it up so that we can open the next one. So then this case opens and it's beautiful. So a lot of times when I'm at my scrapbook retreat, I'll keep bigger things in here. I'll keep some like my art media supplies in here, and then I can just open it up, or papers that I'm not using as much, I can do that. But this opens really nice to the top like this, and it also opens down like this. And this is important because you see all these Velcro strips here. I have more of those bags that I'm not using, and those can go on the inside here. I have this fairly packed full, so it's kind of nice that you know, you have this space as well. I'm just not using it this time. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Depends on how I pack. So in here is my Tim Holtz mat, and I bring this especially because if I want to do any mixed media stuff, I've got that, but it also keeps my table a little bit cleaner. My ATG is in here, And then here is my big roll of foam tape. I'm not quite done with my small roll, but I didn't want to run out, so that's what I'm doing. I've got it in here. Then in here, I have like a messenger bag that matches this, and normally what I do is I take that and I pop this little accordion file, fits inside of that, and I put paper inside of that. And these are all my faux solids organized by color here, but I don't really need to take it this time because this stuff is fitting in here, so I'm not going to take that messenger bag. Then I have a couple of paper pads here, and what I'll do with those when I get to the crop is I'll just put them in between my little paper files where they go. This was taking up some space and I was having a hard time getting them in, so I put them here. Then these are actually the different paper envelopes that match my nephew's wedding album. So I have one for like the stickers and cut aparts. This one is all the pattern papers I'm using, and keep in mind this is a second wedding album, plus I'm doing one for my sister. This is actually my envelope of vellum and transparencies that I'm using for both their album and my normal stash. And then this is more like gold embossed papers and that kind of stuff. Then on the side of this, you can see right here, there's more storage here, these little things, and I have my bigger punches here. So there's a couple of punches that don't really fit in that other thing, and I tend to just leave those in here while I'm at the crop, and then I know where they are if I need them, and I can just go grab them, because I don't use those on every layout. And then on the other side, there's those, the same net little pockets, and in this particular case I have my photos stored here. That's why these are not in. I have so many photos right now to scrap. I've been working on those wedding albums so much that I've had to store them in, not even in the little 4x6, but these are normally the holders that store the 4x6 holders. But you know, I'll just keep working on them and we'll see what happens. But those are in here now, and those are protected. I really like to be careful about where my photos are stored, just because that can be a little tricky. All right, so that's my, whoops, sorry guys. That's my We Are Memory Keepers tote. And I'm gonna go around here because there's also here a little storage back here, and I think if you have a small like Fiskars trimmer, you can actually get that to store in there. I should take this and see if, yeah, that won't store in there, but that's really meant for your trimmer. It's just that mine is bigger than this, but my old Fiskars trimmer would have fit in there. And then I'm going to stand up here. This has the most awesome handle. Look at how easy that is, and I'm on carpeting and it's heavy, so it's not going to roll, but it's a beautiful handle and it telescopes gorgeously and all of that. So the bag is not inexpensive, but it was well worth the money that I paid for it. So I'm just going to walk around here again, and there that is. And I'll quick just show you, here's my mostly naked scrap room. Ooh, light there. My Cricut. And then there's my scrap desk that normally has that basket I was showing you with all the embellishments. That's the matching one. And then all this stuff. This is my travel trimmer that if I just go for a day somewhere, like I'll take it to work sometimes and scrap. And then some of those places where I put paper in, some of those big pockets had my page protectors stored, so I pulled those out. These are the extra, what do I want to say, the little bags that fit inside. And then this one, as I pull it out, is where you can store paper in there, which made me laugh. Because if I was going to a crop and I had that big bag and only that much paper, I wouldn't be able to go to the crop. And then a couple of old things of chipboard that I'm not taking. So, naked. See that white basket back here? That's how those L Studio acrylics and acrylic words get stored most of the time. Okay. So, and then just, there's my new, oh, look at that. Here's my new Caterpillar Pro with a glass of wine sitting on it. Yes, I'm having a glass of wine. And then a picture I just printed of my grandson that needs to go in those envelopes. So, Anyway, all right, guys, one more tour. You can see all the stuff. No judging, at least not in the comments. You can judge away, but just don't tell me about it, okay? And now I've unorganized this. Oh, and here's one of my cats. There's Linus the cat. He doesn't make an appearance very often, so he's a little curious about what Mama's doing. All right, so there we go. So that's how I pack for crops. If you have any further questions, please feel free to just put them in the comments and I will answer them as best I can. Hope you're all well, and I'll be back again with a regular video soon. Bye!